Today, we're exploring the tragic stories of 25 actors who died during filming, not to sensationalize their deaths, but to honor their dedication to their craft and understand how these losses forever changed the film industry. From legendary martial artists to rising stars, from freak accidents to hidden health struggles, these stories remind us that behind every character we love on screen was a real person with dreams, families, and futures that were cut short. Some of these names will shock you, others might be unfamiliar, but each represents a life devoted to bringing stories to life, even when it cost them their own. Let's dive into these heart-wrenching tales of talent, tragedy, and the show that sometimes couldn't go on. The Lee Family Curse, Bruce and Brandon Lee. We start with perhaps the most famous father-son tragedy in Hollywood history. Bruce Lee, the legendary martial artist who revolutionized action cinema, died in 1973 while filming Game of Death. At just 32, Lee suffered from cerebral edema, and his death remains surrounded by mystery. Director Robert Clouse had to finish the film using body doubles and even cardboard cutouts of Lee. Imagine how surreal that must have been for his family to witness. But tragedy would strike the Lee family again 20 years later. Brandon Lee, Bruce's son, was following in his father's footsteps when fate intervened in the most cruel way possible. On March 31, 1993, Brandon was filming The Crow when a gun that was supposed to fire blanks contained a real bullet fragment from a previous scene. The bullet hit him in the abdomen, and despite 5 hours of desperate surgery, he was pronounced dead the next morning at just 28 years old. He was only 3 days away from completing filming and was supposed to marry his fiancée just weeks later. The film became a cult classic, but watching it knowing Brandon's fate makes every scene heartbreakingly poignant. Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger was already an established star when he died at 28 from an accidental overdose of prescription medications on January 22, 2008. But here's what most people don't know. He wasn't just working on The Dark Knight at the time. While The Dark Knight had already wrapped, Heath was in the middle of filming The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus when he passed away. Director Terry Gilliam thought he'd have to scrap the entire project, but Heath's friends and fellow actors Johnny Depp, Jude Law, and Colin Farrell stepped in to complete his role. They played different incarnations of his character as he traveled through mystical mirrors, turning tragedy into a fitting tribute to a brilliant actor's final performance. Heath's portrayal of the Joker would earn him a posthumous Oscar, making him only the second actor in history to win an Academy Award after death. Vic Morrow. One of Hollywood's most devastating on-set accidents occurred during the filming of Twilight Zone the movie in 1982. Actor Vic Morrow was filming a Vietnam War scene with two child actors, 7-year-old Micah Dinley and 6-year-old Renee Shin-Yi Chen, when a helicopter crash killed all three instantly. The line Morrow was about to deliver was heartbreakingly prophetic. "I'll keep you safe, kids, I promise. Nothing will hurt you, I swear to God." This tragedy led to major changes in film industry safety standards and sparked years of legal battles. It's a stark reminder that the magic of movies sometimes comes with very real dangers for those creating it. Paul Walker. Paul Walker's death on November 30, 2013, shocked the world. The 40-year-old actor died in a car accident after leaving a charity event, with tragic irony given his fame from the Fast and Furious franchise. Furious 7 was still in production, and Universal Pictures faced an impossible decision. How do you finish a movie about family when you've lost a family member? They chose to complete the film using a combination of CGI, body doubles, and Walker's brothers Caleb and Cody, who helped provide voice work and physical stand-ins. The result was one of the most emotional endings in action movie history, with the song "See You Again" becoming a global tribute to Walker's memory. Natalie Wood. Natalie Wood's death in 1981 remains one of Hollywood's most enduring mysteries. The actress was taking a break from filming the sci-fi movie Brainstorm when she drowned in mysterious circumstances during a weekend boat trip with her husband Robert Wagner and co-star Christopher Walken. She was just 43, and the circumstances of her death still generate speculation today. The film was completed using her sister Lana as a stand-in, but it couldn't escape the shadow of the tragedy. Oliver Reed. Oliver Reed, The larger-than-life British actor died at 61 while filming Ridley Scott's Gladiator in Malta. A notorious drinker, Reed had promised Scott he'd abstain from alcohol during filming, a promise that proved short-lived. Ridley Scott later said, "One Sunday morning he dropped down dead on the floor of a pub. He probably had a couple of pints and said, 'I don't feel good,' laid on the carpet and died." The production had to use CGI to place Reed's face on body doubles for his remaining scenes, groundbreaking technology at the time that allowed the film to be completed and become an Oscar winner. Jean Harlow. Jean Harlow, one of Hollywood's biggest stars, died of kidney failure during the production of Saratoga in 1937. She was only 26 and at the peak of her career. The film had to be completed using doubles for her remaining scenes, and it became a bittersweet memorial to her short but brilliant career. John Eric Hexum. In 1984, actor John Eric Hexum was filming the TV series Cover Up when boredom during a filming delay led to tragedy. Playing Russian roulette with a prop gun loaded with blanks, Hexum put the weapon to his temple and pulled the trigger. The force of the blank was enough to drive skull fragments into his brain, killing him at just 26. This incident forever changed how blank cartridges are handled on sets. Roy Kinnear. Roy Kinnear, beloved British character actor, died during the filming of The Return of the Musketeers in 1988. While filming a horse riding scene in Spain, Kinnear fell from his horse and broke his pelvis. Complications from the injury led to a fatal heart attack. The film was dedicated to his memory, but it serves as a reminder that even seemingly simple scenes can turn deadly. Tyrone Power. Tyrone Power, one of Hollywood's most beloved leading men, suffered a massive heart attack while filming a dueling scene for Solomon and Sheba in 1958. He died while being transported to the hospital in Madrid at just 44. The film was reshot with Yul Brynner taking over the lead role, but Power's dedication to his craft, working right up until his final moments, exemplifies the commitment these actors had to their art. Art Scholl. The dangers haven't disappeared with modern technology. In 2014, stunt pilot Art Scholl died while performing aerial stunts for Top Gun, disappearing over the Pacific Ocean during filming. His body was never recovered, but his work helped create one of the most iconic action sequences in cinema history. Animal wrangler Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, was filming Ocean's Deadliest in 2006 when a stingray's barb pierced his heart, killing him instantly. His passion for wildlife education continued through his work right up to his final day. Greg Plitt. Not all the victims were major stars. Countless stunt performers, extras, and crew members have lost their lives in service of entertainment. In 1995, fitness model Greg Plitt was struck by a train while filming an energy drink commercial without proper permits. In 2019, YouTuber Grant Thompson, known as the King of Random, died in a paragliding accident while filming content for his channel. Heather O'Rourke. Perhaps the most heartbreaking cases involve young performers. 7-year-old Heather O'Rourke, the star of Poltergeist, died during filming of the third movie at just 12 years old from complications related to Crohn's disease. The innocence of these young lives lost makes their stories particularly tragic. These 25 stories remind us that behind every character we love, every stunt that takes our breath away, and every moment of movie magic, there are real people taking real risks to entertain us. These actors didn't just give their time and talent to their craft, they gave their lives. Their deaths led to crucial changes in film industry safety standards. The Twilight Zone accident revolutionized helicopter safety protocols. Brandon Lee's death changed how weapons are handled on sets. Each tragedy became a lesson that hopefully prevents future losses. These actors live on through their work, their final performances becoming eternal. Every time we watch The Dark Knight, we see Heath Ledger's brilliant Joker. When we watch The Crow, we witness Brandon Lee's star potential. When See You Again plays over Paul Walker's final ride, we remember family, both on screen and off. What story affected you the most? Have you watched any of these final films knowing the tragic circumstances behind them? Let me know in the comments below. And if this video made you appreciate the dedication and risks that actors take for our entertainment, Please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into cinema history.